Yo, what's good, gang? It's your boy King C. Aw, man. Hey, we gonna switch it up this time, man. We gonna switch up the, the video. We gonna discuss who y'all think really killed Tupac Shakur, man. In my eyes, the greatest rapper of all time. Got that man tatted on my arm. You already know what it is, man. There's a lot of shit going on with Snoop and this person, that person, and speculation here, speculation there. But, you know what I'm saying? But, hey, when Pac died, him and Snoop weren't on good terms. And, you know what I'm saying? Snoop says it out of his own mouth multiple times. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, let's dive into what I'm going to be doing is pulling up a lot of different videos and shit. Some from Art of Dialogue. There's some other two I found and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying, shout out to them dudes, Art of Dialogue and all them dudes. Art of Dialogue is the best Tupac channel. If you want Tupac content, Art of Dialogue, bro, that's the best channel. But anyways, let's listen to this first clip of how Snoop and Pac weren't on good terms in the flight when they got on the private jet together.
Tupac took it as if I wasn't down with him no more, as if I was side busted, as if I was scared. Death Row looked at me as like a traitor. The next day, actually I had to fly back home from New York. And normally on a private plane, it'd be Pac, his security, me, my security, Suge, and a couple of his homies. This time I go to the airport, my security walking with me.
No, trust me out about Snoop though is, how can't you see why Pac was mad, bro? You got on stage, you was singing Hit 'Em Up with him, then you turn around and say you don't like the song, and then you turn around and say that Biggie and Puffy are your homeboys? Oh man, I would've been pissed too.
Like, hold up, they can't roll. They gotta catch a regular flight. So now I'm like,
that's not a good sign.
Now you was scared.
First of all, Pac ain't said to me though, from that moment on.
But everybody else has security.
Yeah. I seen it happen. I know how to get down.
I was just gonna say, that's
know,
what my mind was wondering.
I know how to get down.
Yeah.
I'm not a stranger to danger. I know what it is. So now I get on the plane.
Hey.
So now I'm looking around. Pac right here, a couple other right here. I'm like, what's up, Pac? And they do me like this.
Hey, where did you like that too, bro? You talking about my enemies is your homeboys and you supposed to be down with Death Row? And you supposed to be family? Come on, man. I would have been mad too. And you go back on my channel. There's a video I did. Snoop Dogg was dissing Biggie, bro. Come on, man. Like.
So I walk to the back of the plane. Give me a blanket. Grab me a knife and a fork. Put the blanket over my nose right here. My low black glasses on, and ride like this the whole flight.
You was scared as shit, gang.
Come with me so I can stab at everybody on this mother. This is a 5.5 hour flight. Don't nobody say one word to me. Not one word. Just having conversations and doing all kinds of things, saying nothing to me. Now we land.
Hey.
My Rolls Royce, Tupac Rolls Royce, Suge Rolls Royce. We step off the plane. I'm like, Pac, you going to Vegas to the fight? I said,
hey.
That's the last time.
How can you be mad? How can you be mad? How can you be mad, Snoop? Like, real shit. How can you be mad? Like, if that was anybody else, if that was your enemy and Pac said he was friends with your enemy, you wouldn't feel some type of way? Come on, man. Let's go to this clip. This is Art of Dialogue. This is Suge talking about how Snoop had a walkie-talkie at I don't know if it was Daz's crib or Warren G's crib, one of them. That also not Kevin Mackey, I forget this dude's name, he died. Michael Moore heard over the walkie-talkie when Tupac got shot. Got him. And he's saying they heard the same shit over Snoop's walkie-talkie. So Snoop knew. Which I wholeheartedly myself do believe that Snoop knew what was going to happen that night. And that's why he kept telling the Dog Pound members don't go to Vegas, don't go to Vegas. That you, everybody's gonna have their own opinion. That's my opinion.
Is you feel like Snoop knew what was going to happen to Tupac in Vegas? Can you speak on that, if you don't mind? Like, go more into detail?
I'm going to put it like this. I'm never going to say him. But the writing's on the wall. What I mean by that, I know they got into it in New York. I know Pac ain't turning nothing down. Pac go. When it's time to go, he gonna go. And I know that us three, the three of us, was close. After I called my mother, I'm gonna hit Pac, I'm gonna hit Snoop, make sure they straight. So all three of us communicated with each other always. He had a fight. He had a ticket for the fight, a Tyson fight, where we always go to, a ringside ticket. He also,
whoa. So he said Snoop had a ticket to the fight but didn't go? Nah, that's fishy, bro. Why would he have a ticket and not go?
East Coast night, and everybody was excited about it. I had Run DMC performing that night. When you look at it, Dad said that, hey, we wasn't going. Snoop was on, fuck Death Row, basically fuck Tupac and everything above.
Wow.
And something's gonna happen.
This call and your telephone number will be
He was salty about that plane ride,
Warren
gang.
G says that Snoop was at his house watching the fight, and he had the walkie-talkie, the radio.
See what I'm saying?
These walkie-talkies, the radios I had, it's not a Nextel. This is before all that. I had these radios that work on the whole West Coast.
Wow.
San Diego, Vegas, Oregon,
So what if Daz's crib was in LA, or that shit was working from all the way from LA to Vegas?
West Coast, Denver, right? So only time a person got one of those radios, it's like if they was going to a club, or they was going to court, or they was going to an event, that they could communicate with their security. Whoever doing those security details, the security didn't keep them 24/7. So the radios were handed to, if two guys were going to be on Snoop, I would hand them two radios, and Snoop would have one. After that's finished, they would turn them back in. So it wasn't no need for Snoop to have a radio. That was surprising. So when Warren
why did he have a fucking radio? That's my question. Why did they give a radio to Snoop? It's not like he should carry it. And he not even in Vegas.
He heard the shots. He heard everything was going on. And when everybody said they heard him say they got him.
See?
That's not just a red flag. That's a fact that somebody involved with something they shouldn't have been in, and they had a radio they shouldn't have had. So that was the first thing.
That's that shit I'm talking about.
Corrupt, they interviewed Corrupt, and Corrupt says Snoop had to meet and said, we're not going to Vegas.
What?
So they wasn't going to Loserville, so that's basically saying like something's going to happen.
So you mean to tell me Snoop Dogg had a whole meeting about how they not going to Vegas, bro? Come on, bruh. Nah, this is some bullshit, gang. That's some bullshit. And know what's so crazy? If you go look at all the last pictures of Tupac and Snoop Dogg together, I'm sure I could go on Google right now and show y'all, but y'all already know. If y'all go along, look at those pictures of him and Tupac and Snoop, like weeks, months, I don't know if it was weeks or months before Tupac got shot. All them pictures, Snoop Dogg looks sad as shit, bro. Like he knows what's about to happen to this man, and he really can't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
And then Nate Dogg says, I'm going to Vegas. I don't got to be around those niggas. That's his exact words. I can be here, I can be there. Long as I don't be around them, basically saying if long as I'm not standing next to Tupac or me, he'll have to worry about a straight bullet getting him.
Wow.
No other way. And the fact that not only did he not come to the hospital, not one of those people
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Snoop didn't go to the hospital, so he lied. Oh my God, this dude Snoop is a habitual liar, bro. Suge was there. And another thing people need to stop saying is Suge set up Tupac. Bro, that is the stupidest shit I've ever heard, bro. You wanna know why it's fucking stupid? It's common sense. Why the fuck would I set you up to get shot at and then sit right next to you? Tupac was 5'9", 5'10", 165 pounds soaking wet. This man was 6 something. I don't know how tall he was. 6'3", let's say. 300 and something pounds. Really? Come on, dog. Come on, bro. Whoever was gunning in that car specifically was gunning for Pac. But, hey, they might have been gunning for him too.
Them people, whatever you want to call them, did not do a song with Tupac. We put out 2 albums after Tupac was gone. Snoop not on one.
That's true.
Snoop did his album. You probably guys don't remember. He did that album on his own. Where it was The Dogfather. It's not a Pac verse on that one.
It's not a Pac verse on
and
that
he
shit.
had lots of them to pick from. Not a
Facts. Facts.
When Tupac got a star on Hollywood Walk of Fame,
None of them came.
not one of those individuals, them people, did not come. So you can go up there and accept an award for Pac, act like y'all was close, but y'all was enemies at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I do say this with all respect to the whole West Coast. I tried everything to keep the love for Snoop. If there's something personal, we'll deal with that on something personal. But when he went out his way and showed the facts, what he did, his involvement, that bothers me. And what's even worse than that, Ray J even said Snoop told him that. So it's like bragging points.
Ray
But,
J.
you know, it is what it is, you know?
Wow.
Certain things that happen can't be changed.
That's
but
crazy.
Kid, if you look, you're not going to smell the smoke. You're going to see that fire burning.
Right.
That's that.
See what I'm saying?
Is your child struggling
Come
with
on,
a gaming
gang.
addiction?
He breaking down how Snoop had a whole walkie-talkie. That's wild. Now, I'm gonna play this clip of I believe his name's Michael Moore. Yeah, Michael Moore, when he heard "Got Him" over the radio, as you just heard Suge say. I'm sorry, but my opinion, bro. I hate putting people's names out there like that, but I really deep down believe that Reggie Wright Jr. was involved. I do. And I don't give a shit if he sees and gets mad. You want to know why I think Reggie Wright Jr. was involved? Because he was the head of security that night. Knowing Tupac just jumped on Orlando Anderson, a known Southside Crip. Why would you tell the security team to not carry firearms? What kind of stupid ass shit was that? That was done purposely so nobody was armed and could shoot back. Duh.
We all carry for security. And what I heard was, got him.
Back then, remember the motherfucker?
I don't know if y'all could hear that, but he said, let me bring it back.
Working at 662, I heard something over the Nextels that we all carry for security. And what I heard was, got him.
He said what he heard over the Nextels they were all work security was got him. Same thing that what's his name said. Suge Knight said.
Back then, remember the motherfucker? I don't know what kind of
Warren G.
Nextel he had, but he had the motherfucker could go that whatever it was hitting him all the way from what was going on from Vegas. So
See?
they was like, we could hear the shit.
Nah, they was at his crib, not Daz's crib. I think I said Daz earlier, my bad. They was at Warren G crib, and he's telling you right now, that's crazy.
These radios that we keep talking about, the Nextel telephones, two-way radios, they had
Frankie.
pretty much just come into play because originally all we had were the regular radios, just the radio itself. And probably closer to around the time of us coming out to Las Vegas, around the time frame of Pac being killed, I would say that those Nextel phone radios had just come into play for right-way security. There was only, it's a guess, there was probably only 4 or 5 of them. Okay, but it was enough to go around to the people that mattered that should have had them.
The Voice was definitely one of our, not paid security, but one of security that works with directly from Mr. Knight came over the radio. I couldn't pinpoint exactly whose voice it was, but
no, you got Michael Moore, part of the security team, telling you it was one of his own people. That's crazy.
Some voice that I had heard before, so I knew it was one of our, not one of our direct security that was hired with us, but one of the, what do we call them? One of the homeboy securities.
Yeah.
That got him right before me and Mr. Wright got in the vehicle to go get to the hospital.
Michael Moore, the night that Tupac was shot.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro, that shit was a whole inside job between crooked, I don't know if it was crooked Death Row security or crooked police, but like I said, I do believe that Reggie Wright Jr. was involved. I think it was orchestrated, and you got security from Death Row telling you it was one of their own people. Crazy.
Being taken off of Tupac with me, went back over to Club 662.
Then someone else came on the radio and said, hey, don't say nothing over the radio.
So Michael was with Reggie, and they went to
Someone came over the radio and said, hey, don't say nothing over the radio. Wow.
Together. And Michael talks about hearing something over the radio. Well, he would have heard it over Reggie's radio because he wouldn't have had a radio that night.
Nextel sold a push-to-talk feature, which was essentially a walkie-talkie over a cell phone line.
Wait, go back. What did you just say?
Walkie-talkie.
He would have heard it over Reggie's radio because he wouldn't have had a radio that night.
So he said he would have heard that got him over Reggie's radio because Michael Moore didn't have a radio that night. So that means he was standing near Reggie and overheard it on Reggie's shit. See what I'm saying? Yo, the facts are facts. You got multiple people saying the same thing. The facts are facts, bro.
Nextel sold a push-to-talk feature, which was essentially
That's crazy.
a walkie-talkie over a cell phone line. With it, conversations could be transmitted via speakerphone. This was how Moore heard the conversation on Wright's cell phone.
See what I'm saying? On Reggie Wright's shit.
Then he had this the Nextel back then. Remember the motherfucker? Yeah. I don't know what kind of Nextel he had, but he had the motherfucker could go that whatever it was hitting him all the way from what was going on from Vegas. So they was like, we could hear the shit, and then he started getting calls and shit, and they was telling him that Tupac got shot and da-da-da-da-da.
Yo, that shit was a setup, bro.
I kicked everybody out. Get the fuck out of here, everybody. Get out of here, man. And he took off. That's when he went to Vegas to go see him, to get out there to see what was going on. And that's when he went out there, when he went to the hospital.
See, now I don't understand. You got him saying Snoop went to the hospital. You got Suge saying Snoop never came. So we don't really know who's telling the truth, honestly, about that part. I don't know. I've heard multiple different stories. Now this video, Art of Dialogue again, this is talking about the arm that they seen come out the window shoot Tupac. They said it was a dark, thick arm because everybody thinks Orlando shot Pac, but Keefe D's story is he passed the gun back to Big Dre, which was a fat dude. He was kind of chubby. Orlando's on the side of him, and he said that Dre said, nah, I'm not doing it, and Orlando took it and leaned over Dre and shot. But I don't think that's the case. I don't know, because if it was there was multiple people that said it was a big black arm. Orlando was a skinny dude like me, like Pac. I don't think Orlando had a big black arm, but who knows?
It was a big
Let's
black arm.
what Napoleon got to say.
I believe that was Gaddafi. You know, Gaddafi, he's seen the person's face. Like Gaddafi said, he seen the car pull up as if they was looking for somebody, and they looked into their car. And then when the car got up to Wapak, Gaddafi said, all I seen is an arm. If I'm not mistaken, I think he did say a black arm come out. I don't know if he said big or whatever. He just said the color was a dark skin arm. You know what I mean? And that's when he said it's like his stomach dropped because he already knew what it was. He said, once I seen the arm come out, I just knew that what time it was. And that's when he heard the gunshots.
Wow.
And, you know, everything, it happened. And it's almost like seconds when these things happen. So nobody really paying attention. When it comes to that, nobody will be looking like who face it is. You understand?
See,
and even Gaddafi, I don't think he recalled the face. He just said when he seen that arm come out the window, he knew what was about to happen. And once you hear bullet shots, and once you hear bullets, it's not like, you know, nobody thinking about who did it. You know, everybody, you go into panic mood. You know, you go into panic mode, and you just trying to survive. You understand? But that's what Gaddafi said, if I'm not mistaken.
Yo, it is so crazy that Gaddafi was one of the only people that seen the shooter, and he died like 2-3 months after. And he told the police he could go tell him who it was, and he ended up getting shot in the back of the head. That's some bullshit, bro. That's some bullshit, bro.
That was what Gaddafi said. You understand? So ain't no telling, bro. I don't even know how many people, we don't really know, because like you said, you hear so many conflicting things. You understand? You hear so many different things, and ain't no telling whose story is true and whose story not. Facts. Orlando was known to be like a dude who was with it. That was a known fact. You know what I mean? So it's not like it would be surprising.
True, but do you think Orlando, after getting his shoulders stomped out, would lean over somebody? Who knows?
Like, it won't be surprising if they said Orlando is the one that actually killed Pop. And you got to look at it from a point of view where he probably wanted revenge, if that's the case. You know what I mean? And he was already a person, from what everybody know, that that was his get up. That's how he was. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say, you know, if they say Orlando done it, I wouldn't really try to say, well, no, he didn't. I wouldn't really have I wouldn't no reason to say he didn't do it. You know what I mean? Because one, he the one who got jumped. You understand? So, you know, when you young, 20-something years old, and you got jumped, and you coming from the streets mentality, one, you want to prove yourself. You know what I mean? You want to prove that, okay, they jumped me, but I look what I did after. Like, when you go back to your hood, most of the time, you don't want nobody else to take revenge for you.
That's true.
So by them saying Orlando is the one who did it, and they saying Orlando was known to be that type of person, and he just got jumped, it sounds like it can be. And at the end of the day, God knows best. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? God and the people who were in that car, of course, know what really happened. But I wouldn't be surprised if they said Orlando was the one that killed Pop. Orlando was the one that got jumped. You know what I mean? I don't know if you ever been in a situation where, you know, when you get jumped, you just emotionally, like, you all over the place. So in our culture, African American, Black American, Latin American culture, like, when you get jumped and somebody, like, for example, if you get jumped and somebody come and try to give the gun to somebody next to you, your
That's
ego,
the part I'm talking
and
about.
like I said, it's a devilish mind game that plays with our community. The devil will come and make it seem like you a sucker. Why you ain't getting revenge? You know what I mean? How you gonna let somebody else put their freedom online because of what happened to you? You better do it. So most of the time, that's how it is in the hood. So I wouldn't be surprised that it was Orlando.
Yeah, I feel you, man. But for me, man, me hearing that Big Dre, he had the gun in Orlando, he took the gun and shot Pac. I don't know, man. That sounds like too much to me, man. It could be Dre, man. But I don't know, man. Who knows?
That don't sound far-fetched, you know what I mean? That don't sound far-fetched when you jump and you emotional and you like, you know what I mean? Like, you just don't think.
I don't know, guys, man. What do y'all think, man? It was either one of those two. It had to be. It was either Dre or Orlando. It had to be. It was one of them.
Like, it doesn't, you know what I mean? And the people who know Orlando, the people who speak about Orlando, you know, they said that's the type of individual he was.
Right. I get it, man. But when you say that a dark-skinned arm is what shot Tupac, I mean, the darkest person in the car was Big Dre. But, you know, I mean, who knows, man?
Yeah. Who knows? At the end of the day, bro, you know what I mean? Like, and you know, like, even when it first happened, Gaddafi, you know, he was numb from it. Like, he never went into details. Like, and the crazy part, he seen the people look inside the car.
See?
But I don't think we ever even have a conversation with him to say, okay, how did the face look? You know what I mean? So it never really was, because after Pac died, unfortunately, the incident that happened with Gaddafi was 2 months later.
Wow,
And when I
2
said
months.
that Gaddafi was numb, like losing Pac, he was never the same. He never really talked
Damn.
about it. He never really, other than him saying he seen the arm of the dark arm come out the window. You know what I mean?
Hold on,
See
before you
what I'm
pay for yet
saying?
another app to manage your team.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Gaddafi literally could have identified who shot this man and died 2 months later with a gunshot wound to the back of the damn head. That's crazy. I don't know, gang. What y'all think? Y'all think it was Dre? Y'all think it was Orlando? Do y'all think Snoop knew about it? Do y'all think Reggie Wright was involved? I don't know if Reggie Wright did that shit on purpose because he knew what was gonna happen after Tupac jumped on Orlando. Who knows, bruh? But there's a lot more that still didn't come out yet. A lot of this stuff is new because Suge's talking now. Suge specifically said if you solve Tupac's murder, you'll solve both him and Biggie's murder. So that makes me think it's a big conspiracy with a whole bunch of players, key players involved. But there was only 2 people who really know who did it. It was Tupac, he ain't here no more. And Suge is, you know what I'm saying? But who knows for how long, man? Who knows? So you already know what it is, man. We gonna dive into more of these videos. We gonna work on this together, again, like a investigation. You know what I'm saying? We also gonna dive into some Biggie joint too. Biggie's murder was definitely a setup, 100% a setup, and y'all know by who. Biggie was about to lead Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? But you already know who did that. We ain't even gonna talk about that right now. You know what I'm saying? But until the next time, gang, yo, we out. Carter 6, Friday. We gonna be in this bitch. You already know what it is. It's your boy King CR. I'm gone.
Yo, boss, I live a life of misery. I pray to God so much. I know his ass sick of me, now dry your eyes. Baby, dry